Alright, y'all. So I wanted to come out here and show y'all we got a little germination. So remember I told y'all I put some early rapini over here, and I said, oh, well, the seeds didn't come up. And I thought they wasn't no good. Y'all see that? So I guess they had to stay wet long enough. And then once the sun come out, because ever since, see that one there? Ever since that, it's some more gonna come up. There's a tiny one there. But I'm sure some more will come up. I put a little coconut coir in there after I saw a lot of them start germinating. Just so they could have a little something to kind of, their little roots was on top of the ground. But anyway, well, not all of them, but some of them. But it's been low down, borderline hot. Today is gonna be 73. The day after it quit freezing, it went up to 50. And just about every day it's been at least in the 60s, 70s. I think even one of these days we're gonna get an 80-degree day. At night it's been what time? At night it's been in the 50s or so, something like that. Y'all see I had a bunch of cabbage leaves that I just ended up I don't know where these folks come from. Had a whole bunch of cabbage leaves that come off them Savoy cabbages up there. And I just took them and laid them over here just so they can break down in place. I'm gonna end up putting a perimeter around that bed. I think it'll be, it's not that I can't use it the way I'm using it, but I think it'll be a little bit better and be easy for me to mow around and stuff like that. Keep weeds out of. But anyhow, so this bed is what this looking like after the frost. And yeah, it's a little damage here and there. But what I wanted to show y'all was, y'all see all this? So those collard green seeds that I threw down, there's a bunch of them germinating right here. This wood out the way. Get this pine bark out the way. There's some of them germinating there. All over in here. Whole bunch of them right there. So those collard green seeds that I didn't know if they were any good or not, they clearly are good. Because I throwed them heavy thinking, well, you know, they ain't going to come up. And those were seeds from, y'all remember the collards that I more or less bred. And I kept keeping seeds from the purple ones. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it right now, but I don't think you can see it too good. But when these germinated, the back side of these were really, really purple. Like, I don't know if you can tell right in there. Some of these look really purple. I know my shadow's in the way, but so these are those collards that they got a lot of purple in them, and those are my favorites. They're prettier, but also they're healthier for you. In my opinion, they taste the same as regular Georgia collards. And then I'm going to tell you something else. Because I grew them here so many years, they're going to be a little bit more acclimatized to my climate. And also, those were the collards that I kept for years. And let me tell y'all this here. I'm going to say it again. And if you're new to the channel, it's maybe your first time hearing this. You don't have to pull your collard, y'all. Because of so many different things historically have been lost, and people don't, you know, farming and gardening and stuff skips generations. And a lot of times we went so long, especially black gardeners went so long, and we let people get away from gardening, and we say, oh, well, just go to school and this, that, and other. Yeah, it's fine to go to school, but you need to have some skills that'll sustain you. Everything in your degree program probably will not sustain you, which is sometimes where I feel like, you know, there was a time period in time where it was very fashionable to want to try to aspire to be in the bourgeoisie class, or these class of Negroes that, you know, in my opinion, I guess I shouldn't say that. Well, they were just more about intellect and things of that nature, but some of the the things that had substance. I can't talk today. Um, they were kind of getting away from those things, and they were doing what rich people, and I guess that's what rich people do. I guess they don't do nothing. I guess they do whatever they do that make them rich, and then they pay people to do stuff. But I don't think there's any fun in life in that when you don't know how to do anything, and the only thing you know how to do is make money and spend money. Life sounds boring to me, but anyway. But so you don't have to pull your collard plants. Way back in the day, people didn't pull their collard plants like that. You can even go on Southern Exposure, and there are a couple of varieties of collards, which I can't remember which ones. They actually were grown, and they were like, it said in the description that they will keep producing for 4 or 5 years. So when your collards go to seed, don't pull the plant, leave it. It's gonna go back to making leaves. Are the leaves gonna be as big as original? No. But in my opinion, I've told y'all before, all that letting them leaves get real big, that's some grocery store nonsense. Old heads will tell you they didn't care them for them big leaves no way, because it take too long to cook. And I agree, they do take longer. But I know with some people, I don't want to be picking all day, I don't really know what to tell you. If you like that, huge leaves and pull your plant and you replant every year and all this, go right ahead. I liked it better when I had because I'm starting over, y'all. These beds y'all see, I'm starting over. If you go back, you remember I had collard greens in the ground for 4 years. 4 or 5 years I had them in the ground. I left and I got seeds off of them. Every doggone time they went to seed, I got seeds, and then I go right back to harvesting. So that's why I tell y'all some of these things. And y'all tell me this. Do y'all want me to do a beginner gardener series? Show y'all them collards. There goes some more done germinated. Y'all see them? All of them are baby. I throw them in all these little holes and they all come up. I couldn't believe it. It looked like, see these, you can see the purple in them a little better. See there? See how purple they are? When they first bust out of the thing. See how purple? There's a bunch of them over there. I thought they were going to come up, but I guess they needed some sunshine after that rain. And these temperatures made them jump on up, so I guess I'm going to have some collards. But y'all tell me if y'all would like for me to do a gardening series where I sit down and talk about different gardening tips and stuff like that. If y'all want me to do that, I will. I'll sit down and film it and put it up, because I suspect that because of these cuts, these stamps, this WIC, this EBT, all this stuff, and this Medicare, Medicaid, I think a lot of people are going to go back to doing what they got to do, which is using the earth to sustain them and to feed their bodies and heal their bodies, because it's going to be a lot of people without Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all these different things. So, and I'm just walking along here showing y'all the peas, how they look after the freeze. I also had some more peas germinated after the freeze as well. The goges, they're putting on leaves. But I think we're gonna have more people than we thought. You can see, try to show y'all this goji. I suspect it will start making fruit here in a minute, but I think we're gonna have a lot of people gonna go back to the land. And if they don't, let me explain something to you. Those that are out here growing and you doing your thug thizzle, you're going to be the ones that people are going to seek out when the grocery stores, when they can't afford quality foods. They're going to seek you out. So I'm telling you now, plant your few little extra seeds, because, and I'm not saying bust people over the head, but what I'm saying is this may be a time where you can get you a few extra pennies. And you may not even be banking on that, but you may get a few. Oh, that's clover. I thought that was pea. But you may get some extra coins. Or if you care about your neighbors, grow a little extra. Because I got a sneaking suspicion it's going to get rough in these streets. But y'all see the peas are looking good. All this stuff down through here is looking real good. I'm glad to see some stuff out here germinating. I haven't had any germination in the greenhouse as of yet. So today we won't be going in the greenhouse. But I will take you all back here and show y'all. I can't remember. I filmed several things, me getting some things done, but I don't think I've really showed y'all, since it's kind of warmed back up, how the garden is reacting. I think the last thing I showed was maybe while it was still, let's see, I did a video uncovering the plastic. So I think that's the one I showed, and I think since then I haven't really showed a whole lot. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. The greenhouse has been a scorcher. Seriously, it's been hot in there. I've had the door open every day. I sowed one set of tomatoes, some Zapotecs. I want to sow some African Queens and some Paul Robesons. That onion finally decided to sprout. But everything is looking fine. But what I wanted to show y'all, what I told you, like I said, proof to concept. Remember I told y'all those peas would push through these leaves? There's a lizard running off. Well, they did. Y'all see all the little green places? So these leaves are lightweight, and a little bit of light creeps through. And these peas will most definitely push through those leaves with no problem, even after a rain. So I'm gonna creep over here, show y'all again. See those? See the peas? All that green. They're pushing through. So they're gonna be just fine. I have horseradish in there, but I'm going to plant something else in addition to horseradish. I don't know what yet, but I'll plant something. I'm hung up trying not to take the limbs off my persimmon. I want some fruit this year. The pear has gone on and decided. Now I'm gonna try to show y'all these trunks. You see 3 trunks. The one in the back, that's the grafted one. These 2 in the front was the rootstocks. I never cut them off. I let them get almost as big as the other one, with the intention of grafting onto them, and I have grafted onto them. This is Korean Giant right here. I have another Korean Giant. This big limb here is that Korean Giant graft did better than that one. But can y'all see? I'm gonna try to get a little closer. Y'all see them budding out? So they're getting ready to push, and pears always push the, see the peas come up through there? Pears always push the flowers first. So that grafted side always usually buds out first, and this side buds out afterwards. You can see a couple of places like it's some leaves down there, but for the most part, the rootstock waits to bud out. And I wanted to mention this, on most pears, I don't know what the rootstock is, but it's spiky, more or less. It's not terrible, but let me see if I can show y'all. See that? But those spikes turn into limbs. So you see how, if I can get this to focus. There we go. See how there's a bud and then there's a spike? So those spikes turn into limbs. They'll do that on certain other stuff too, like silverthorn. It does the same thing. We're not going in the greenhouse. There's nothing to see. At least not nothing extraordinarily new. I had to come back and put some more cocoa coir on top of the onions when it rained. I don't know what happened. It's like most of the onions kind of rose to the top, and y'all know onions got to be in the dark in order to germinate. So so that's that on that. This one don't look too happy, but I know it's not dead, so it's probably gonna defoliate more than likely. The top of this looks okay, but we'll just see what it do. These onions, I'm Get them out of there and repot them. That citrus defoliated, so did the other ones. We'll just see what they do. I'm sure my longevity spinach will come back here in a minute. Sometimes, you step on something, you're like, what the bleep was that? But no, it was just water. Anyway, I got some weeds to cut out of there. And those old longevity stem limbs. But yeah, I think even though these were little, I think they'll come back. Yeah, I'm hungry. My stomach growled. But just go to show y'all how this weather has been. The elderberry said, I wait for no one. Homeboy said he gonna just leaf on out. The elderberry's ready. And they throw flowers pretty fast as well. I'm gonna look over here at my blackberries and grapes and see. Do I see any signs of them waking up? I hadn't really checked on them. I see that I need to get all this little wood that done fell in here out of here. The vines look okay, but I don't see any buds yet. But I'm gonna get all this little stuff out of here. I'm probably really gonna put a heavy thing of leaves right here. And then y'all know I got to get my trellis up this year. This is gonna be too much if I don't get this trellis up this year. I ain't playing. But yeah, I don't see anything blooming out just yet. So I'll be glad when I get some germination on some of my seeds and stuff. Like my seeds that I planted in my trays. I think I may start some peppers and stuff today. I'm gonna have to throw them on the heat mat. Aisha blessed me with a heat mat, so I got one. So, but anyhow, these just some Egyptian walking onion. They're still looking lovely. The peach. I didn't step in here and show y'all. The peach is buds are just swelling more and more. This light is something else. But y'all see more and more of them. You can see the pink in them. It's gonna be beautiful when it buds out. I'm pretty sure they'll give them just a few more days and they'll really go to opening up and blooming out. This one over here, that's just the rootstock. Remember I told y'all the grafted part died? I don't see much of anything swelling on it. Like I said, I'm gonna leave it and graft on it. Sometime when you don't have a ton of space, that's what you can do. Graft different varieties on one tree. There's pros and cons to that. If you lose the tree, you lose all the varieties. Versus if you had 2, 3, 4 different trees and you lost one tree, you just lost that one tree. But if you don't have a lot of space, sometimes that's what you have to do. And unfortunately, I don't have 40 acres and the mule, so I'm working on it. But persimmon, it's not even pushing anything as of yet, but hopefully we get fruit this year. I didn't get fruit last year. I got fruit the year before. I think I got 2. I'm talking about, I've fallen in love with the fuyu persimmon. A lot of people don't understand when your tree, because a lot of people complained about the fuyu persimmon. Oh, it doesn't have any taste. It's just sweet. Anybody who thinks that their tree the first year is going to taste exactly like it does the last year that it fruits, I don't think you understand how fruit trees work. The flavor changes over time and it usually gets better. So the year before, the first year I had fruit out of this tree, y'all excuse me, y'all know my nose do. The first year I had fruit out of this tree, it was pretty much just like sweet, crisp, but I didn't have a problem with that. Like I'm gonna be honest and tell you, I don't understand people that complain about stuff that it's not really anything to complain about. Like, it tasted good enough. Like, I'm not, but I ain't gonna get into that, because to be honest, the person that was doing all that complaining, they weren't really no good gardener no way. So that's that on that. But the year before last, when I got fruit on that, it was actually a pleasant surprise, because it tasted like it's still, because I pick mine when they're still crisp. I don't really like the mushy persimmon texture. If you like it, more power to you. I don't really care for it. It's just personal preference. So I pick mine when they're technically immature, so they're still hard, so they're crisp. They have a snap to them. And I was expecting them to be sweet, and they were, but they had like notes of cinnamon and nutmeg in them, and I was like, ooh, what is that? So it kind of tasted like, it had the texture of an apple. So it made me think of apple pie, but a little different, because it's a persimmon and not an apple. But it was very delicious. So if you do have fruit trees, and it fruited the first year and you didn't too much care for the fruit, figs are notorious for that. The first year my brown turkeys gave me figs, they were disgusting. Celeste was as well. But now that Celeste, they taste much better. But till next time, see you guys later.